All right, what's up, guys? 1 second, please. Yeah, we're good. All right, today we're gonna be doing my my video for biology, the muscle motion project thingy thing. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. All right, first two we're gonna start with, they go kind of hand in hand, is flexion and extension. So flexion is going to be the bending of a joint to get the angle smaller, and this is going to use the bicep brachii. So an example of this is going to be, let's say you big football or baseball or just a ball guy, and not a ball guy, just a ball sport guy. You try to throw your ball. Let's say we're gonna take football in this case. Got your ball. You got your angle decreased right here. You got the ball. You got to throw it. When you throw it, you engage in extension. So extension is going to use the tricep brachii, and this is going to be increasing the angle. So it's going to be the throwing of the ball. So let's see. When you throw the ball, you increase the angle right here in the elbow. The next one's the rotation. Rotation is going to be turning the bone around its axis, and to turn the bone, you use the sternocleidomastoid muscle. So, example of this, you use the vertebrae in your neck. You turn that bone when you turn your head side to side. So I'll say you're saying no, right? Nuh-uh, not a fan. Yeah, ooh. So it's an example of your rotation. All right, the next two are abduction and adduction. So abduction is going to be turning a bone. Abduction is going to be moving a bone away from the midline of the body, the center. So this is going to use the deltoid, and adduction is moving it back towards the midline, and this is going to use the latissimus dorsi. And so an example of this is when you do jumping jacks. So when you go up, you do abduction, and when they come down, it's adduction, because they're moving away and back towards the midline. All right. The next one is circumduction. So it's moving your limb in a circular motion. This also uses the deltoid muscle. An example of this is if you're a big swimmer, you enjoy swimming. You're swimming. You're circumducting right here about your shoulder. You're doing some circumduction. All right, the next one before I have to start looking at my feet is hyperextension. So it's extending a joint beyond its normal range. And example of this uses the erector spinae. Instead of saying no, you're saying yes this time. So yep, yep. You can see as you move the head up and down, the angle extends beyond what it normally can, greater than 180 degrees. And that one was a hyperextension. Now, I get some foot stuff. The first two are dorsiflexion and plantar flexion. There we go. All right, so I'll put it down a little more. Yeah, there we go. All right, so dorsiflexion. So you're pointing the foot upwards, getting towards your shin or up into the air. This uses the tibialis anterior, and example of this is when you're walking, or I'm gonna use marching in my case, because I do marching band. So when you march, you get your foot back here, you push off the foot, and your left foot goes up first, and then your foot goes up. You got your toes being pointed up in the air towards the shin. This is dorsiflexion. And then on your next step, as you're going into the next step, use plantar flexion. This is pointing the foot downwards. This uses your gastrocnemius. And example of this is you're doing your set, you're marching, whatever. Whenever you get to your dot, you point, and then you close. You close your feet. So the point is an example of the plantar flexion because it points your toes downwards. So yeah, you're marching, dorsiflexion, dorsiflexion, dorsiflexion. The point to get to your dot is plantar flexion, and you're done. All right. The next two are inversion and eversion. So these involve the turning of your sole, the sole of your foot. Inversion uses the tibialis posterior, and eversion uses the fibularis longus, fibularis longus. So let's say you're out, it's late at night, your parents say, go get the mail or go get the trash from the road. And you got a shell driveway. You don't feel like putting any shoes on, it's late, you're just in and out of there, 20 seconds. So you get the mail, or you go to get the trash, and you're kind of wobbling along the shells of your driveway or the rocks in the yard, trying not to poke yourself in the feet. Whenever you bring the soles inward, that's going to be inversion. And when you bring them outwards, it's eversion. So, yeah, you're kind of wobbling. You got to avoid all the sharp stuff. You're using your inversion, your E version of your feet. All right. Yep. That's enough of my feet. Bonjour. All right. The next one involved the hands. These are supination and pronation. So supination uses the supinator, and pronation uses the pronator. So an example of supination is going to be holding your soup. So you got your soup in your hands in the bowl. You know, you're holding your bowl, going to your table, making sure you don't run into anyone, and you put your bowl down like that. You get your supinated hands because they're pointing up. Example of pronation is going to be typing. So say you're about to write an essay on your Chromebook. You get your palms pointing downwards. You start typing your essay. So it's going to be pronation. Supination is the palms up. Pronation is the palms down. The final one is going to be opposition. Opposition is the moving of a thumb towards the fingers, or the inside of your thumb. This uses the opponent's pollices. Yeah, sure, whatever you say. But an example of this is me gripping a pencil. So I don't know about you, but I hold my pencil between two fingers, and then I use my thumb on the back end. So what the thumb does, the thumb comes in towards the palm of the hand, and it grips the pencil. Da-da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. I do my bell ringer. I make sure I write all the words in the bell ringer, because if I don't, I get points off. And yeah, that's the muscle movements of the body. Got all your foot stuff, all your arm stuff, your hand stuff. You know. All right. Yep. See ya.